Good morning, I'm Vabakshini Chetty. The Libyan rebels' National Transitional Council in Benghazi says they plan to fly to the capital Tripoli in the next few days to start work on forming a new government. They're confident of securing Tripoli airport despite the strong resistance that rebel forces are meeting from Gaddafi loyalists in Tripoli. The loyalists have been boosted by the news that two of Gaddafi's most influential sons that rebels claim to have arrested are at large. The BBC's Matthew Price has talked to one of the sons, Saif al-Islam, who turned up at a Tripoli hotel overnight.
It was a short conversation as the son, widely regarded as Colonel Gaddafi's preferred successor, sat in the back of an armoured vehicle. I asked Saif al-Islam where he saw the balance of power in Tripoli. "We broke the backbone of the rebels," he told me. "We gave them a hard time, so we are winning." Asked whether his father, Colonel Gaddafi, is safe and well and in Tripoli, he said, "Yes, of course." He seemed pumped full of adrenaline and brimming with confidence.
Meanwhile, the South African government has again rejected rumours that it's been approached by Gaddafi and members of his family for asylum. International relations spokesperson Mxolisi Nkosi also referred to reports that Angola will consider giving them asylum.
We certainly don't have any news about any offer of asylum by any of the African governments to Colonel Gaddafi or his family. No approach whatsoever and no consideration for any asylum for Colonel Gaddafi or members of his family.
South Africa's High Commissioner to Uganda, John Kwelane, will appear in the Equality Court today, where he could get a second chance to defend himself against a hate speech judgment. He will apply for an earlier default judgment to be rescinded so he can start afresh with the matter. Rulani Baloy has more.
In June, Kwelane was found guilty of hate speech. However, he was not present at the judgment due to his job abroad. While still working as a journalist in 2008, Kwelane wrote in a newspaper column in which he expressed his opinions about gay people. Kwelane was ordered to apologize through the newspaper and pay 100,000 rand at the Human Rights Commission. Rulani Baloy, SABC News.
The Nelson Mandela Bay municipality will be tightening security today after threats against non-striking workers increased. This step came after about 90% of the municipal employees turned up for work on the 6th day of industrial action. Port Elizabeth police are also investigating the intimidation of patients at the Walmer Gqeberha clinic, where about 10 SAMU members allegedly forced patients to leave the facility. In other parts of the country, municipal workers will continue to picket in the Western Cape. The strike still appears to have less than 10% support among workers in Gauteng and KwaZulu-Natal. Further afield, it's emerged that arrested former editor of Britain's News of the World newspaper, Andy Coulson, received several £100,000 from News International after starting work as the Conservative Party's Director of Communications for David Cameron, now Prime Minister. Coulson has been arrested on suspicion of involvement in phone hacking and bribing the police. The payments were part of his severance package under what is known as a compromise agreement. The BBC's Robert Peston reports.
The disclosure that Andy Coulson received several £100,000 from News International after becoming Director of Communications for the Tory party is likely to increase criticism of David Cameron for employing the former editor of the News of the World. After Mr Coulson resigned from News International in January 2007, News International said it would pay him his full entitlement under a 2-year contract as editor of the News of the World, although the money was to be paid in instalments. He was reportedly paid £275,000 a year by the Conservative Party, but he continued to receive hundreds of thousands of pounds from News International till the end of 2007.
The rand is steady at this hour. The US dollar is trading at R7.19. Sterling is worth R11.85 and the euro costs R10.34. Gold is at $1,904 an ounce. The spot price of Brent crude $110.33 a barrel. Recapping the top story, the Libyan rebels' National Transitional Council in Benghazi says they plan to fly to the capital Tripoli in the next few days to start working on forming a new government.